Hello, Brian. Congratulations on the show you do, and best of luck with everything that comes along. Continue to follow your dreams. That's awesome. I'm going to make an announcement straight out of Rampage just for your show. Here we go. I'm going to get into announcer mode and welcome you to the WSE Lounge. So here we go. Hi, I'm Justin Roberts, and I want to welcome you to the WSE Lounge hosted by Brian Vaughn.
Ladies and gentlemen, watching on Facebook and YouTube and StreamYard, welcome to the WSC Lounge. I'm your host, Brian Vaughn. And right now, I want to welcome to the show right now, former WWE Diva, Layla.
Hi guys. Hi. Good job by Justin. That was fun, huh? He's so
Yeah,
great. Good
yeah.
job.
I think he's the best announcer there is.
He's great. So is Lillian
Yeah,
Garcia. And Lillian. You gotta give it to
yeah.
Lillian too.
Lily Garcia does good too, yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you know that you want to be a wrestler? I mean, what got you into it?
I actually didn't it was never a desire of mine. I did want to be famous. That was definitely on my that was one of my first things. I wanted to be famous. And I
Mhm.
was dancing for the Miami Heat. And at that time they had this I'm trying to think what platform it was. It's a really old platform. You used to have your top five friends. I
Mhm.
can't remember which one it was. And somebody from WWE reached out. It was actually Todd Grisham's wife, I think, reached out to me and said they were looking for people for the Diva search. And so I just one day was like, I'm just going to go for it, having no clue about it ever being part of my, future or my life and everything. So I just took a risk. I just woke up and was like, what do I have to lose, right?
Yeah, you got a great background and dance. You're with the Miami Heat, and I think you even did a dance for Kanye West on the MTV Music Awards, and you were also on the Carnival Cruise, thing you done.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I was.
so what was that like for you doing that? I mean,
Um, I was 18, just about to turn 19, and
uh huh.
I went for an audition for Carnival Cruise Lines, and I was going to dance in their shows, and literally they auditioned just that day, and they said, you sign it now, or we're going to give it to somebody else because you're leaving in 2 weeks. So I just
Hmm.
thought, I was like, I was living in England. I hate the cold. I love England. It's my home. But I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. So I just signed basically. Later I came to Miami, which I
I think your camera froze. Yeah, you there? Your camera froze. Your video froze. You there? Your video froze. You there? You there? Folks, stand by. We're having some technical difficulties.
hello?
You there? Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
sorry, it went out.
I,
I was trying to fix it.
yeah.
I'm so
I,
sorry.
oh, that's okay. Technical difficulties,
Do you do you want me to restart or do you want to ask the
Yeah,
question
yeah, it's
again?
kind of yeah. You can restart on the dancing thing.
Yeah, no problem. So I auditioned for Carnival Cruise Line. When I was 18, about to
Uh-huh.
turn 19, like a few weeks, and they said, "You're in. We're leaving in 2 weeks, but you got to sign a contract right now." And I basically just said, "Yep," signed it. So I got to travel the world. I flew to Miami, which I ended up living in Miami, and I got to travel the world. I was paid. I was doing shows. I was meeting people every other day, and I traveled to different countries. So it was just so beautiful. And then once I was done with Carnival Cruise Lines, I went back to England, and I was like, I can't do it. I can't. I need hot weather. So I eventually moved to Miami, and while I was in Miami, I was a Miami Heat dancer. I also performed like at the MTV Awards with, like you said, Kanye, Jamie Foxx, Diddy,
Uh-huh.
Mace. I'm trying. There were so many other celebrities I got to dance with. Wycliffe was in his video. There were so
Mm.
many. I got to have so many opportunities in my dancing, and my dancing always also gave me the opportunity to be in WWE too. So it just panned out
Wow.
for me.
So what would you say during that experience, during you dancing stuff, who was the biggest mainstream celebrity that you got to meet?
When I was dancing,
Yes.
yeah, Jamie Foxx, Kanye
Oh, wow.
West, also Robbie Williams, Elton
Uh-huh.
John. I'm trying to think of other people. I mean, they're pretty big time, right? I mean, that was
Yeah.
I'm pretty lucky, pretty fortunate, you know. That's all I can really think of right now.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I guess you probably been asked this before, but what does EL next to Layla mean? What's that mean?
What's what?
EL next to Layla in your name.
That's actually my name. That is my name. That's actually my name. It's actually my middle name, and it's
Uh-huh.
also part of my last name. So my name, like to say my name, it was kind of hard. I don't think other people would have got it. So
Uh-huh.
at the Diva search, I just put down Layla L. And thank
Okay.
God I did because I like it. It's easier. My other name,
Yeah.
it would have just been very hard for people to announce or pronounce. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Yeah.
Layla L. But that is my real name, just cut off.
So what was it like you been in the Raw Diva search?
Oh my god, it was a great experience, but
Hmm.
also a very scary experience. Like I was very scared. A lot of the girls there, the women that I was with, they weren't as nervous, I think, as I was, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And for me, I'm just so scared. I think I was more worried about rejection and just the first time I ever went out on live stage in the Diva Search with the actual crowd, Miss went out there to announce something, and he announced like something incorrect or something, and they just like booed him out of the building. So
Wow.
as soon as we heard that, I was just like, what?" And then I just didn't realize how much WWE fans get to react to you, and so it's like at first I was very, very, very scared, and then in the end I was like, you got yourself to do this. You're gonna make it through. Just too late. If they reject you, they reject you, But it's very scary to be like rejected or booed. It is a little hard, but I got used to it,
Mhm.
obviously. But at first, it was hard.
So I know you're a British accent. I know that you grew up in London, England. So in London, England, how is that different than here in the United States?
Oh, it's so different. It's so different. The vast difference. For one, of course, is how we speak and everything. Our
Mhm.
accents are completely, you know. And England's a lot smaller. Doesn't have as many. Also, we
Yeah.
drive we drive on the other side of the road. I don't know if you guys knew that. It's very different. We speak the same language. We we both speak English, but I promise you, when I first moved to the States, there was things that I could not understand. Like I was just like, what? What does that mean? Like a completely different language, completely kind of different sense of humor. It took me a while to adapt to being a bit more Americanized than I guess British.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, you probably know too, Sonny Ono. Sonny Ono sent me a video the other day about these guys traveling to Japan, and they were showing these restaurants stuff in Japan, and they said that most of the bathrooms in Japan and the food you eat in Japan and all that, everything is clean. I mean, just so clean. So
I've
is that,
actually, yeah, I've actually never been to Japan, which I'm really mad about. Been
yeah.
I never ever got to go to Japan, but yes, London reminds me of New York a lot, just a smaller version of it. It really
Wow.
does. Just a very, very smaller version of New York. You know, and would I say London's clean? London is clean, but it does have its
Mm.
areas. It's not like I remember going to Switzerland. Switzerland, now that's immaculate clean. If anyone's ever been to Switzerland, they don't know how. There is no trash in that country. They absolutely
Wow.
get fined for it. They really. So to me, you know, that was immaculate clean. I've never seen anything like that.
Wow. So there's a celebrity you kind of favor. I'm gonna let you see her picture. I got a picture on here. Um, and her name is Lisa Los Cicero. She plays Olivia Jerome General Hospital, and that's her picture right there.
She's beautiful.
And I thought you kind of you kind of resemble her a little bit. Kind of
Oh, you
favored her
do?
a
You
little bit.
think so?
Yeah,
I kind of see it. I see it. Absolutely. I can kind of see it. Yeah.
and
She's beautiful. So,
yeah, and I wanted to ask you another question. Years ago, me and you and our truth actually met at Mara, Georgia, the Verizon. You remember that?
where?
Many years ago, me and you and our truth actually met at the Verizon Cricket Wireless in Bar, Georgia.
Okay, I remember doing that appearance because didn't he like pretend he was lost or something? And I was looking for him at first before we got there. I
Uh,
do remember
y'all,
working with Truth on that.
y'all are sitting at the table and everything, and I'm gonna show you the video. I got it right here. I'm gonna show you the video, let you see it, see
Okay.
if it rings any bells. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Okay.
What's up, everybody?
Okay, hold on a minute. Wrong thing. Here we go.
Brian.
Brian wants us to say hello to everybody on Facebook.
Yeah, Brian and all his friends. Hi.
But he didn't ask the little Jimmy to say hey to nobody.
No. We can do it in languages. Bonjour.
Hola.
Hello, mate.
Oh my. I do remember that day.
Sorry about
I do
that.
remember that day. It's okay. Yeah, I remember
Oh
that
my
day.
goodness. Let's see. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Try to get back to the main screen.
Who,
Technology
me?
is not. Oh no, on the screen. Trying to get back to the main
Oh,
screen.
there you go.
There we go. Oh my God. Technology, I tell you. You said you remember that day though?
I do remember that day. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That was a day he did go missing. He did it on purpose. So I was looking for him. I thought he'd left me. Yeah, I remember that day clearly. A lot of good times.
So who come up? Let me ask you a question because you work with our truth a lot. So who come up with the gimmick, little Jimmy? Do you know?
Of who? Little Jimmy?
Yeah, who come up with that gimmick?
He did. I want to say
Did
he did. I 100% want to say he did. Like, but I might be wrong. Like, I don't. I honestly think he did because he even wanted it to keep going after they like discontinued it. No, I think it's him. Our troop's phenomenal. Like he really is. He's very creative.
Oh
He's
yeah,
phenomenal. Look, his longevity of his career. He doesn't age. Like what the hell?
yeah, yeah. I know he's like what 57 years old now, and
Yeah, he looks
doing
right.
good.
He looks great. He's had the greatest, longest career. I think
Yeah.
he came up with that. I might be wrong, but it was very entertaining as well.
So let's see. Okay, so um, I know you're part of the Extreme Expose in the WWE's version of ECW with Kelly and Brooke Adams.
Yeah.
So your dancing background and everything. So what was that like working with them? And also another part of that question, I want to know, did the FCC ever have to step in with that regime y'all were doing because back in '99 at Armageddon, the FCC had to step in when Stacey Carter accidentally flashed the camera by accident.
Oh, well, for one, no, we never were. We actually never were. No, we were never flagged. Up to my
Okay.
knowledge, anyway. We were never flagged.
Okay.
I guess I don't know, like if no, we were never flagged to my knowledge. I was never told anything, and
Uh,
Extreme Rose was like it was a perfect idea because there I was, just won the Diva search, and I'm supposed to go out there and wrestle. I don't know how to wrestle. I'm not trained. I don't have a clue. You know what I mean? So thank goodness.
yeah.
They felt it was just a baby. If you remember, Kelly was only what I think 18, so they put her
Yeah.
out there, and she had to dance by herself and be an exhibitionist. And I think they could tell she was really nervous. They were like, "Well, we need to put somebody with her." So they're like, "Oh." They got Brooke Adams, from because she was in the Diva Search and they hired her at FCW. And then they were like, well, I think Johnny X was like, well, Layla can dance. Why don't we just put Layla in there? And then she can train on the road. So to me, that will
Yeah.
always be a blessing. I'm always going to be, thank you so much for that. And I loved it and I hated it. I loved it and I hated it. I loved it and I hated it because I was the dancer, so I had to choreograph no matter what. The
Mhm.
routines, every week we had a new routine. I had 3 hours to teach the girls and go. I used to edit the music, I used to design the concepts, and I designed the costumes, and then it would just be like, let's go. And I remember the girls were so young. So I'm like, Barbie, Kelly, get over here, Brooke, get over here. Like I felt like I was I have to say, us three girls, we made it work. We worked together. It started awful. It started terrible. If you ever watch our first routine, it was so bad. And it got better. And I'll always be thankful for that because I really enjoyed it. I got to dance and get paid and travel and learn how to wrestle. And I made good friends with it. And when it ended, it was kind of sad. You know what I mean? I don't know why, it ended and it was just kind of upsetting, but it was perfect for that time. And yes, we probably should have got flagged. But didn't it go on like at 10, like 30 at night, I think? So that might have been the reason
Yeah.
why, because I think it
That's
used to air
yeah.
at 10:30 p.m. So that's probably why we got away with it. And Vince loved it.
Well,
I think eventually.
you were talking about the dance and stuff. You had about 3 hours to go over the dance and stuff each show. So what I want to know is, did 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 your dances whenever y'all went through the dances over each show? Uh, did they get tore up by Vince McMahon like the scripts did of the shows? Because the writers will go through and write different scripts, and they said that the Vince McMahon come through and he tear up the stuff didn't like. So did he do that?
Uh, I think they didn't do that. For us, they
Uh-huh.
actually did. They let us have that moment to dance.
Oh,
We
that's
had this
good.
amount of time allotted to dance. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? And it was after pretty much it would come after the dance scene had gone, or it would. No, guys, lucky we got to. Chick magnet, you just kind of like scripted out for us in a good way.
That's great. And another thing I want to ask you, you were the first ever British woman to win the WWE Divas Championship. So how did that make you feel? I mean, I know it had to make you feel wonderful. I mean,
I missed that part. So sorry. I
I
missed
said
part of what
you're
went
the
on.
first ever. I know it's doing all this lagging stuff. You're the first ever British woman to win the WWE Divas Championship. So how did that make you feel?
Um, I didn't even know that. Like, I think Matt Striker announced that and basically told me I had no clue. So I now when I look back at it, of course, I'm proud and happy that I was even able to give that opportunity. I actually was the first British woman to be part of WWE and also the first Arab woman, to be part of WWE and to win titles. I know they say Paige, like with the movie that she had and everything, they really like
Yeah.
publicized that she was the first. And to me, when I lived in England, I always thought, was it like a racial thing? Because I'm not English, British blood, because I'm the first immigrant from
Yeah.
Moroccan parents, but I was born and raised in England. So I don't know if they forget that I was, the first one from England kind of thing. And England was like that too. So you're either British or you're English. Paige is definitely English, you know what I mean? But I
Hmm.
was definitely the first. No matter what anybody says, I was definitely the first British.
Well, Priscilla Kelly, she was the first ever gypsy wrestler. Do you know that? She was the first ever gypsy
Kelly,
uh one wrestler.
Kelly, what?
Priscilla Kelly. Priscilla Kelly.
Okay.
You know who Priscilla Kelly is?
Yeah. Sorry, you're breaking
Okay.
out. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. We got a bad connection here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She was the first gypsy. Is that what you said, Priscilla?
Yeah, the first gypsy women's wrestler.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Congratulations, sir. Yeah. Sure.
Anybody got any comments? Let's see. I don't see any comments yet. And if we have any comments appear on the screen, we'll see them. Let's see here. So do you ever keep in touch with Kelly Kelly or Brooke Adams?
Um, I do not as much as I'd like to be honest with you. I worked
Mhm.
with Brooke just I think it was in December and stuff like that. So and through Instagram we'll keep up. And Barbie I haven't seen since last year in Vegas. And
Yeah,
there'll always be a friendship and a bond between us, no matter what. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We've shared such great times and such intimate moments, and we're bonded for life, no matter what. Like I could see her in 5 years, and I could still go up and hug them both and have a conversation. Have a good
yeah.
laugh with them. Yeah.
So I know for a while you were with Michelle McCoo. Y'all were in McCoo. What was it? Layla McCoo. Or
Lakel,
what was it?
Lakel.
Yeah. So I know that was great for you to do. And so how'd you enjoy that?
That was the highlight of my career. The greatest times ever. Like Lakel was definitely something that was very unexpected, I think, coming from me. I never ever thought that I would even get to have those opportunities in WWE. And but making a connection with Michelle and working together, like I was able to learn about the business. I was able to be a part of things that I was never a part of before, and it was comical. There were sad moments, there were good moments, but I look back in reflection on it, and I found an amazing friend, Michelle, and memories that will always stick with me. Like I watch sometimes. I can watch back sometimes if someone shows me a reel and stuff, and I feel like, oh, that was really funny. Oh, that was really entertaining, especially for the
Yeah,
girls in that era, because we were really just like we were just on the cuffs of eye candy, but not eye candy, crossing over.
yeah,
So it was definitely a hard time for us. And I have to say, Michelle fought for everything for us. She really did. You had to fight for your spot from WWE that time.
yeah. And I think it's wonderful that Michelle McCoo married Mark Calloway. And Michelle McCoo is such a very religious person. She led Mark Calloway to the Lord, and I think that's great. And I had Vince Russo on here a couple weeks ago. I told Russo, I said, you know what? I said, all these people behind me I've interviewed. I said, without God, it wouldn't be possible. Because without God, I'm nothing. And with God, I'm something. No, but I think it's great. To be able to share your faith and share the gospel. People.
I agree. I agree. Michelle, since the day I met Michelle, she was very
Yeah,
faithful, very sincere, she's very honest about her religion and stuff like that. And I respect that. I respect people that upfront
yeah,
about what they believe and stuff like that. And you know,
it's great. And I wanted to ask you. This was my favorite song. You know, as a kid growing up, and I know you got to meet him, but Aaron Carter, you sing the song "I Want Candy." You know, I used to love that song. And so, how was it for you meeting Aaron Carter and meeting the hilarious, funny host of Family Feud, Steve Harvey? What was that like?
Um, I'm Aaron Carter and his brother was there too, right? I think Nick Carter, I think they were both there.
Yeah,
They were like, we were competing for a diva dance off kind of thing, if I remember clearly.
yeah,
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 they were very nice, very professional. Um, at one point, I think they looked like they didn't even know why they were there. They were like confused or whatever. But no, it was nice. I was a fan of Aaron Carter. Who wasn't growing up, right? He was
yeah,
phenomenal. It's very sad about his
yeah.
life. Yeah,
Was
very very sad to see that, and but I, it was the great segment, and they worked with us. They were very nice to us all too. So it was great just because I feel like wrestling has given me the opportunity to meet a lot of my childhood stars.
hmm
So many people that used to come backstage, and I'm like freaking out because I'm like I'm such a fan of these people. I'm trying
yeah.
to think. Steve Harvey, did I meet Steve Harvey? I don't know if I met Steve Harvey. I'm trying to think. I,
I
I
think you
think
were
when
on Family Feud, wasn't you? You were on
yeah,
Family
but it
Feud,
wasn't
yeah.
him. It wasn't him that was
Oh, it
the
was Steve Harvey. Oh,
yeah, no, I don't believe him.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I think your video went out again, Layla.
It went out again. I'm right here.
Yep,
Hello?
it's black. It's a black screen now.
I can see you. I see myself. I'm still here. You still don't see me?
No, it's just black screen. But that's okay. We'll
How do
just
I
continue
fix
the
it?
interview.
Okay, I don't
I
know how to fix
I
it.
can
I'm
hear you,
sorry.
so oh, that's okay. I can hear you, so that's what counts, you know. Um, so what I know, I know that in 2012, you were named the number 95 in Maxim magazine, out of 100. So, what was that experience like for you?
Uh, it was amazing. It really was. I actually didn't even know about it. I think I was getting text messages from my friends, and they said, "You're in top Maxim number 12," and I was like,
Yeah,
"What?" I couldn't believe it because like that. It was just nobody expected it, and I kind of sad because I don't feel like WWE celebrated it. Like I really wish they would have celebrated that, you know what I mean? Because that
uh-huh.
was, and I think I was the top voted person that day. I wasn't that year. I wasn't even on the list. So again, my
Wow.
fans. So I always say thank you. I love my fans. I love my fans. My fans got me voted into Maxim's top 100. So wow, just wow.
Well, my last question for you is this, Layla. Do you have anything that you would like to promote to the audience? The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. I will be at WrestleCon, the 17th and 18th sign in. If anybody wants to come out and get an autograph, a picture, meet me in person. I will also be at Diva Mania with DS. That is on the I want to say 17th. It's on my social media platforms. Please look me up. My Twitter is MSLAYEL, and then Instagram is LAYLAYEL. Please follow me too. When if you want to just connect, reach out to me. That's where you'll find me. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in Vegas.
Well, thank you so much, Layla, for being on. And sorry about the time mix up. We got that straightened out, though.
No problem. No problem. Anytime. Anytime. I hope everything. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Okay, you
waiting
too.
too.
You too. No problem. Take care.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, that was a former WWE diva, Layla.
What's up, everybody? It's the Hollywood hunk, Ryan Nemeth, to thank you for listening to the WSE Lounge. And when you're done with this episode, head over to Vimeo, watch my film, Heal,